Welcome to Fantasy Fuel. I'm excited to get into this. I'm Matt Russell. Got my co-host, Mr. Chip Sparks. Chip, how we doing?
How we doing? Man, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
So excited. Can you believe it's week 1? We've been waiting all summer. We're here. We made it. Thursday, we got some football happening.
Man, I am fired up. I said earlier this week, man, the last Sunday we're going to have until February 20th without a football game to watch. How great is that?
That's amazing. I know we got like college starting last week, but between you and I, nobody else, listening here, I just want to let them know, like, I'm excited for NFL. I'm NFL over college, and it's ready. I'm ready. Preseason didn't do it for me. I don't know. Did you watch any preseason games?
Man, I watched a little bit here, a little bit there, and I didn't sit down and watch any of it. I've seen highlights, but it's not the same,
Yeah. Especially Thursday, we got Brady and Dak going at it, and like they're not going to sit after the first quarter. So
man, and what a matchup that's going to be. I know we're going to talk about it later, but I'm excited for that one.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, so what we're going to talk about today's episode, to give a little preview, we're going to go through top 5 busts. Top 5 rounds from our draft, mine and Chip's own home league here. Going through some busts from the first 5 rounds, going through some values on those later rounds, maybe some flex plays for week 1. Can't believe we're talking about like week 1 matchups.
Man.
Predictions, year-long predictions, and Thursday night preview. We'll talk about those. Let's jump right into it. You ready?
Let's go for it. Go ahead. Start us off.
Do it. You want me to start it? Oh, shoot.
Yeah, start us off. If you don't, I can
No, I got it. So looking at first 5 rounds from our draft, actually looking at the draft board, looking for bust. Now, I don't know about you when you were picking yours.
Mm-hmm.
I had a little trouble because, it is the first 5 rounds. Those guys are good players, right? So I don't want to hurt any feelings here, but I had to pick somebody. We each got 2 we're going to discuss. I'll start with my first one, let you jump after that. Yeah. My first one is Miles Sanders. Now, thankfully for the guy who drafted it in our league, he's a flex play, a running back 3, so, I'm not hating the pick. But for some people in those deeper leagues, like 12-team leagues, where he's your RB2, I don't think he's getting that. That's what a bust is, not returning the value of the draft. So I have 5 reasons, and they're called Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell, Jordan Howard, Kerryon Johnson, because he's still around, and then the most important, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a rushing quarterback. He's going to get like his fame with his legs and rushing some TDs. He's going to take him away from Miles Sanders. The thing about Jordan Howard, I know he's old, but Philadelphia somehow loves him. They released him last year in 2020. He went and played for the Dolphins, and then the Dolphins released him, and Philadelphia said, all right, I'm sorry we did that. We'll take you back. And they took him back in 2020. They love the guy. They have to. Kenneth Gainwell was drafted in the 3rd round. Boston Scott got a lot of volume last year, and Kerryon Johnson, I don't know why they hired them or signed him other than just to, let's put as many people in this backfield as we can. So I just don't think
want some insurance.
Because Miles Sanders, he's going to go down.
He's going to go down. Some doubts themselves.
Exactly. So that's my first one. Don't love Miles Sanders this year, but we saved the bad news first, and we're saving the good news after. So go ahead with your first one.
I was hoping you were going to lead off with your other one because my first one. This is a guy who was on my team last year. Won me more games than I can count. One of the best players last year. And I want to emphasize before I say this player's name, I'm not saying this player is going to be bad this year. I think it's important to note that when I say bust, I'm not saying he's going to get you 0 points a game and you're going to drop him. I think this player is looked at as the wide receiver 1. I think that a lot of people think he's going to have another outstanding career year like he did last year. Mm-hmm. But this player is Devontae Adams. Drafted first wide receiver off the board. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be a consistent play. I think that, he's not going to get the same amount of touchdowns as he did last year. Aaron Rodgers is not going to be the same quarterback that he was last year as much as people want him to be. So I think it's just I know that hurts you personally,
It makes me sad. It makes me sad.
Big Green Bay guy. But personally, I just see more of a regression to the mean in an aging wide receiver. I want to emphasize he's not going to be bad. If you have him on your team, you have nothing to worry about. But I just don't think he's going to get you the same value that he would have last year.
Definitely. And to add to that, because I think we can comment on each other's here if you don't mind. Add to that, to me, I was going to make this point earlier, and I kind of forgot. The definition of a bust, as you know me, I'm a numbers guy. Well,
Absolutely.
bust can be very subjective in the fact of like talking about how you like a player. But if the only way we're going to measure it is draft capital versus end of season finish. To your point, he's drafted the number 1 wide receiver. So if he doesn't finish number 1,
That's a bust.
you might call it, yeah, technically.
Well, if he finishes, top 3, you might not call it a bust. But if he's outside the top 5, man, some questions will be raised as to where he gets drafted next year.
Especially when you're taking him, I think, in our draft at the 201. And in most drafts, he's going in the first round.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him as high as like a, 6th, 7th, overall pick.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't blame you there for that with that.
For those crazy people that do, no running back. I don't know who would do that. That's a shout out to Ben Barnett right there. 0 RB.
Oh my goodness. All right, so I'll jump in for my next one. I also got a wide receiver. And surprisingly enough, the guy who drafted Miles Sanders in our league is listening. This guy's also on his team, so I'm really coming after him here. But it's Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen is my other bust. And this time, unlike Miles Sanders, Adam Thielen is one of our friend's starter here. But my thing for Adam Thielen, and oh boy, do I have some statistics for you. I told you I'm a number guy. Adam Thielen finished as a wide receiver 7 last year. So yeah, sounds wonderful, right? That sounds great. Wide receiver 7 in standard leagues, 10 in PPR leagues. We play half PPR, so he's right in the middle there. But let me shed some light. Do you know how many touchdowns Adam Thielen had last year?
I don't, but I'd love to find out.
14 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns. Do you know how many out of his, I don't know, 8 years, how many times he's ever broken 10? That was the only time.
That's the only time?
The only time last year is he broke 10. Now, so that's why he finished in the top 10 last year as a wide receiver. His only other times he finished in the top 10, he was getting he got 153 targets and then 142 targets the other time he finished as a top 10. Last year, he finished as a top 10 with 102 targets versus the 150, 100. Yeah.
Man.
Way down.
So reception-wise.
Exactly. So the volume reduction already was there last year. The only reason he finished in the top 10 last year was based on the touchdowns. You got guys like Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson on your team. An outrageous number of 14 touchdowns of last year. That regression's got to come back. And the thing about football statistics, touchdowns are the most tricky statistic, right? The targets come, which means the yards come. The touchdowns don't always follow. So, I mean, look at Julio Jones.
I agree. It's like having that goal line back on your team. He's going to be sitting there on your bench, and he's going to score 2 points, 3 points, 4 points for 6 weeks in a row, and then he's going to have 25 because he scored 2 touchdowns.
So I just don't see it for Adam Thielen, unless he can somehow get 14 touchdowns again. Now, I'll give him this. Some of those touchdown catches he had last year were incredible. I mean, he just knows how to get open within the 5 yards, like into the end zone. So I'll give him that. But it's just not a statistic he can keep up. So he's getting old there.
No doubt. Right. No doubt.
Hit us with your last one.
I got my last one. Man, it's hard to say for this one. But I'm going to go AJ Brown. And again, this is under the same sort of category as the Devontae Adams pick. I think that he's going to be good, but he's not going to be he's not going to be, what was he, the 5th receiver off the board maybe? He's going to be he's got to battle now with Julio Jones for targets, and he's got one of the better running backs in the game, the workhorse back there, putting in the yards. I think that it's going to be a very shared offense. I don't think that they're going to rely on one more than the other. I know you based your picks a lot off statistics. You had a lot of good information there. I'm going purely off of feel. I like to be the exact opposite. So purely feel wise, I'd love to see AJ Brown have a great year. Good friend of ours. Likes to say he eats with his hands. I would agree with you. That man eats with his hands.
Dude, but the whole team does.
I don't know how much there's going to be to eat. You put a big plate in front of this, this team, and they are all going to be just shoveling it in. And I just don't know who's going to get the most.
Oh man, I'm with you there. Julio's not washed. He's not done. He might be injured. Some of the games, that maybe he's not doing his thing. Brown will have a couple of games. And that's the same with Devontae. You were saying earlier. I mean, they're going to have games. Thielen too.
Absolutely.
He'll have games. We're just talking straight into the season finish. Not going to come back on the draft capital there. All right. You want to move to values? Let's bring in some good news.
Yeah, please.
All right. So why don't you lead us off with this one? These are beyond the 5th round, so 6 and beyond. Who's going to pop off and finish way above next year? Who we got?
So I took this guy in the 10th round. He's on my team, so I gotta put that disclaimer out. I did draft this guy, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I love Curtis Samuel this year, man. I love him on the Washington football team. I think that team is going to surprise a lot of people. I think that between him and Scary Terry with Fitz Magic, slinging that thing, man, they're going to have a great year. And Curtis Samuel already had a couple great years. I mean, not great years, but, he showed some talent when he was with Carolina. And I think that this is the year that he sets in, he settles in, and we get to see a great receiver go to work, a fantastic talent that now has a quarterback who's going to be able to make some stuff happen. I
love it. I mean, he's going from a wide receiver 3 to a wide receiver 2 on the team, and that's just one of the biggest jumps.
Absolutely.
I know it's one less target guy, but that's tremendous in the eyes of especially with a guy like Fitzpatrick behind center. I grabbed him in my dynasty league, so I'm rooting right there with you.
Absolutely,
I'm with you.
It's gonna be great.
All right. One thing, I guess I'll jump in with my next guy. The thing I think about all 4 of these guys we're bringing up, their values because they're taken late, of course. But I'm not just saying they're going to have a year this year. I think these are guys next season that are drafted maybe in the top 5 rounds now.
Yeah, I hear you.
Truly. Calling that shot, at least a couple of these guys.
Okay.
One of them, I'll stay wide receiver with you. This one, man, I wish I would have got him in Dynasty because he's a young player. Jerry Jeudy for the Denver Broncos. Now, had Drew Lock kept the starting role, I wouldn't be talking about this right now. But my boy Teddy B knows how to throw the football short range. He keeps it tight, keeps it on the slants, everything. He's one of the reasons Curtis Samuel had a good year last year at Carolina because Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, he satisfied, or he definitely behind center kept 3 wide receivers in Carolina fantasy options last year. Samuel, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, all fantasy options with Teddy Bridgewater behind center. So, yeah, maybe I don't want him on my team if I'm an NFL franchise. But if I'm taking the wide receiver on his team and there's only 2 options out there, I'll take Jerry Jeudy. And he showed some amazing promise last year. Most wide receivers statistically break out in their second year. So he's going into a sophomore season. I think he's geared up with Teddy B behind center. And I'm really excited for him. I wish I had him on my team, to be honest.
Man, can I piggyback off of that? Can I follow you up on that and say that I would very much like to say that I love Javonte Williams for the value. Rookie running back coming in, he's just ready to make some noise, Got really no one else with him. No one else is there to play with him. He's going to come in there. He's going to assume the responsibility. He might not be the first week, might not be the second week that he gets in there and gets all the touches. But I think by mid to end of the season, you're looking at a clear starting position in your running back from the 6th round in our league. So I don't think you can beat that.
Do you think Melvin's done? No more Melvin?
It's tough to say. He's been hanging around for a while. It's not that I think he's bad by any means. I just think that Javonte Williams gets in there and that he proves himself. And the Broncos want to use that young talent while he's there.
Now, I agree with you completely. First of all, I think he's primed for the second half of the season, just popping off. A lot of rookie running backs do. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, even Clyde, J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers, all of them last year. Maybe the first 2 weeks, you probably were like, "Oh shoot!" But at the end of the season, they were doing great. So, Melvin Gordon did scare me. I thought there's no way. I thought Melvin Gordon's washed. I saw a couple highlights of him just during preseason, and I was a little like, how's he still doing this? What's he doing?
I'll tell you what, though, that preseason can be deceiving. I think it's easy to watch a preseason game where guys are going 50%, 75% and not get a full picture. That being said, Melvin Gordon's on his way out, and I think that, I think that Javonte Williams steps on in there and takes the reins from him.
Yeah, he was one of my early picks in Dynasty. I was grabbing Javonte. Happy I got him just for that future. All right, last value we have. So I know earlier when I picked bust, I picked 2 from the same team, from people in our league. I picked Jerry Jeudy, and I'm actually picking another guy on the same team of one of my friends who also drafted Jerry Jeudy. So I guess I'm giving him a little self-esteem here with his draft picks. And this is Jalen Hurts. Now, the guy who got Jalen Hurts in our league, that he's not starting him, he got Russell Wilson also. So he's pairing him with that. I love the Jalen Hurts, like the value of him taking late because he is we saw Lamar Jackson do it 2 years ago when he got drafted in the 15th round and then finished as the number one quarterback. I don't think Jalen is going to finish as the number one. Top 4 is definitely out there. I know a lot of people are. Oh, yeah, as a quarterback, yeah. Okay. Especially with our league format because it's only 4 points for passing touchdowns, 6 points for rushing touchdowns. This dude is going to do it, especially he's got Devontae Adams. I still think Jalen Reagor is a good option. Like he's got – the offensive line is not great. The team in general is not great.
Scary for a young running back. Or I'm sorry, young quarterback.
Either one, because that's my kind of my point. Yeah. He's going to be running,
right.
yeah. And but I think it's there. He's not like a Lamar, like as sought after as Lamar was. I'm not calling my shot that he's going to be a top 4, but I'm saying the potential is there without a doubt. He starts hitting, especially when you're looking at the value you got for him. Our buddy's got Russell Wilson starting. Russell Wilson for years now is like blew up in the first like 9 weeks and kind of disappeared towards the end. He does that sometimes. If he does one of those again, Russell Wilson halfway through the season, throw Jalen Hurts in, he might be popping off by the end. So who knows?
Man, I hate to disagree with you. I'm low on Jalen Hurts. I might, we might come back, look at this episode, and in 17 weeks, and I look like a fool. But I just I don't see it there. I don't see it for him.
The nice part is for most people, he might sit on the bench the entire year, or he might get dropped to the waivers.
And like you said, the guy in our league, he's got Russell Wilson ahead of him. He's got a quarterback. He's not relying on him as his QB1. So the potential to have him on the bench there's a lot of upside. You're not really losing a lot by having him on your bench.
Exactly. All right, let's jump in to the flexing on him segment. Let's talk about some week 1 flex plays. To be clear for anyone listening, these aren't. It was tough for us to stay away from guys like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's a flex play for a team in our league. That's not normal. We got a 10-team league. Some people play in 12-team leagues. Clyde would definitely be an RB2 for some people. So we try to stay away from some of those like borderline starters and looking at some more like deeper flex plays. I'll kick us off.
Go ahead.
One of my guys I was looking at was DJ Moore, but again, I think he was near that starting wide receiver range. I got DJ Moore on my team. He's my flex option this year. But I went with his teammate because it's equally – I don't know. This teammate could be the number one option there with new Sam Darnold in the mix. But it's Robbie Anderson. So we got a fun narrative here. We got Sam Darnold, used to play for the New York Jets, back with Robbie Anderson. And they play week 1, the New York Jets. So we got a revenge game against probably arguably one of the worst teams in the league in the New York Jets. Not the worst, but, down towards the bottom, definitely defense-wise. Right. So you got bad defense. You got starting quarterback, who I actually believe in Sam Darnold. I think he will turn some things around as just a NFL player more than a fantasy option. But him as a NFL quarterback, I think he'll do fine. Robbie Anderson against the Jets takes a couple touchdown. He's a volume guy, so he's not really a touchdown guy. But he's my fantasy goblin this week, as in he's going to be gobbling up all those targets. And
I like it. Yeah, he's going to be gobbling.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson, giving him some motivation. Who you got?
Man, so my first one, I think this guy, we got Devonta Smith. I think, rookie coming into the league, coming in to set the tone. He's ready to make his name in the NFL. He's made his name in college football. I think anyone who watches college football knows the name. They are playing the Atlanta Falcons. Matt, I don't know how much you know about the Atlanta Falcons, but man, do they love to give up points. They love to let other teams score touchdowns. So I would love to see Devonta Smith come into the league, score a touchdown, get some yards, and have a great fantasy start to his career.
Oh, yeah, especially when he's got – would you agree, a stellar quarterback throwing him the ball? Man,
you know what? He's got the best quarterback in the league. I have no doubts that quarterback's going to be top 4, right?
Yeah, there you go. Fantasy-wise. Please don't put me on the record for that for just talent. All right, I love it. Yeah, Devonta Smith, I'm so curious. Rookie guys are always so curious just to see week 1 especially. All right. My next one is definitely a deeper play. I'm really looking for maybe you got some guys that are coming off an injury and you're kind of scared week 1, and this is a guy you want to throw in. I would honestly play this guy over Odell Beckham Jr.
Ooh.
I know.
That's a lot. That's
also just because I just don't believe in Odell. And that's a whole other thing. I shouldn't get into that. Make some enemies for episode 1. No, it's Marvin Jones Jr. who I'm talking about.
Okay. All right. Tell me about it.
I know. Might be crazy thinking him over Odell. But this organization, of course, drafted Trevor Lawrence. They took Trevor Lawrence, number 1 pick. They're excited about him. They brought in Urban Meyer, who former Ohio State coach. There's just a lot of kind of narratives here I'm playing on, not as much statistics, more the narratives. But they also brought in Marvin Jones, for him. They had a guy like DJ Chark, and Urban Meyer and the rest of the organization was like, we're starting fresh. We need somebody new. I'm bringing in Marvin Jones. He likes speed on the outside. We know that's Urban's kind of game. He always loves speed and trick plays and things. And they bring in Marvin Jones. If you watched in the preseason too, Trevor Lawrence was targeting Marvin Jones like crazy. Now, I was high on Marvin Jones prior to that. That just gave me a little bit of boost of all right, yeah, I'm throwing him in week 1. Go for it. It's a deep play. But Marvin Jones, we've seen him last year in Detroit. He was the only option when Kenny Golladay went down. And he provided. He'd have big bust three TD games. And they played the Houston Texans week 1. So not only that, the matchup was great.
You want to talk about the Jets being the worst team in the league. Who plays
that's what I mean.
for the Houston Texans?
I don't know. I think
it's Brandon
I don't know
Cooks.
who they're going to have out there.
I think it's Brandon Cooks against 12 people.
Yeah, they're 5 veteran running backs of Mark Ingram, David Johnson. They've all those.
Yeah,
but
they're going to run a wildcat with all running backs.
There you go. Until each of them break their shoulder. All right, too far. We're getting into it.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
But also, did you hear about they put Deshaun Watson during training camp at safety and stuff because they just had to get him on the field for something? Did you hear about any of that? Yeah, they put him out there for a little bit. So maybe he's the secondary. And even more so, put Marvin Jones in if that's the case. But
I'll tell you what, go ahead.
Yeah, that's my thing. I think Marvin Jones, he's a deep play. If you're really itching for a guy because you're waiting for injury, I don't know. Maybe you drafted Michael Thomas, throw him on the IR, pick up Marvin Jones, throw Marvin Jones in at the flex. It's my who do you got? Finish this out.
All right, I got last flex play here, flexing on him a little bit. I'm gonna go T. Higgins. All right.
Ooh.
T. Higgins to me is a guy. Like I said earlier, I don't want to judge too much off of preseason, but man, oh man, did Jamar Chase have a hard time catching balls? That guy would just let it hit him right in the chest. Hit him right in the chest. He just go right through. Now, I'm not saying that's how it's going to be, but I'm saying if I'm Joe Burrow and we're week 1 and I got a rookie, I'm going to be throwing to the guy who I know can catch the ball, and that's T. Higgins. It's a pretty packed, a lot of wide receivers. You got Tyler Boyd, you got T. Higgins, you got Jamar Chase. So there's a lot of options there. I like T. Higgins this week. I think Joe Burrow's gonna throw to someone he knows. Not that he doesn't know Jamar Chase, obviously from his college days, but
True.
Guess what, Rook? This ain't college. We gotta pick up the speed here. We gotta catch some balls. All right. So I'm gonna go T. Higgins here. I'm gonna go T. Higgins. I think he has a nice week 1, sets the tone for his fantasy.
Yeah. Who's their matchup? Who are they playing against?
Man, that's a great question. Let me find out for you.
I believe it's Minnesota. You want to
that sounds right. That is correct. I do believe that is correct.
Yeah, and Minnesota, I think their defense improves this year, but like the Falcons a little bit, they like to give up points.
Yeah.
So I'm for it. Affairs. Cincinnati guys, you and I from Cincinnati, even though neither of us live there now. Of course, it's cool with me. Do it, T. Higgins.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's move in. We're gonna make some bold predictions here. All right, so because it's week 1, because we haven't seen anybody, I think this is the time we got to call our shot.
Yep.
So Chip's got 2 wide receivers. I got 2 running backs. One of them we think is from the top tier. Who's most likely to finish number 1? Some are maybe not from that top tier and kind of our dark horse. Who's going to finish? This is potential RB1. I'm not talking a starting running back top 10. I'm talking the number 1 running back or number 1 wide receiver. Do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I'll go first. Let's do both of our top tiers. We'll move on to our dark horses second. What do you think?
Cool.
So my wide receiver that's clearly in the top tier that I think could absolutely finish wide receiver 1 without a doubt, Stephon Diggs. Man, nice. What a great guy to have on your team. I was praying, hoping and praying, trying to make trades, doing everything I can to trade back to get to a position where I can get this guy on my team. I want a guy who came off a great year last year, who has a quarterback who's figuring it out, one of the top quarterbacks in fantasy right now. You know, he was drafted, I think, second, maybe third off the board in our league. And Josh Allen, and just absolutely primed for a great year. Not a lot of, they don't have a huge running back role in their backfield, and he is just the number one clear target. Going to be getting all of the targets, all of the end zone looks, all the red zone looks, and I just think that he is primed to have a wide receiver one kind of year.
Oh yeah, I mean I can't argue that at all. Not one bit. The Stallion, Josh Allen behind there, slinging it. He got that bag too. He got a lot of money. Did he get a big contract recently? Oh man, they're going for it. They're going for the Super Bowl. I know we said Super Bowl predictions towards the end, but I just want to ask: do they have a shot to beat the Chiefs in the AFC?
Do they have a shot to beat the Chiefs? It's tough. It's tough to say. I think that the Chiefs are the kind of team where it's any given day. The Chiefs are the kind of team where either they come out and score every single time they touch the ball, or you have a chance at winning. And I don't think it has anything to do with – I don't think that the Bills' hopes to win have anything to do with the Bills. I think it's everything to do with how the Chiefs perform. So I think that the Bills are there. It's just a matter of how it goes down.
I think I got half of your Super Bowl prediction there then. All right, we'll see. Who's making it. Yeah. All right, so I was assigned the running back here, so I'm picking potential from the top tier. Who do I think is going to finish as the RB1? If I'm a betting man and I'm putting money on this, I'm not really a betting man, but if I am a betting man, had to add.
You try to say you're not, but
exactly, that's true. I'm putting money on CMC, of course, but I didn't want to cast that as my pick, so I'm just saying, throwing that out there. I'm kind of hedging my bet, but I'm picking two people.
Man, what is this?
I know.
Let me get another pick. Let me have another run at wide receiver.
Yeah, let me pick two of the top three.
Come on.
No, I want to give Alvin Kamara some love. I think that's he's up there for sure. I mean, he's obviously in the top tier. That's without a question. He finished running back one last year, so I also didn't like picking him as running back one. None of those guys felt fun to pick because they're all up there. But especially this year, people are nervous about him and Jameis. I mean, Michael Thomas is out for the first 6 weeks. Right, he's on the PUP list. He's out for a while. Yeah, sorry. I know you got Michael and Thomas, but at least you got an IR spot. So Kamara's got it. He's the only superstar really on the team. I'm sorry, Marquez Callaway, and I don't even know who else is on the team. Sure, yeah. Is he still alive? He's playing?
I guess so. We'll find out week 1.
So Kamara's the only guy there. And now here's the thing. If you're Sean Payton, I think Sean Payton's a great coach. I mean, he's a good offensive mind. He definitely has it. If you're him and you just lost Drew Brees, who you've had for so long, and all you know is Drew Brees, and now you're going to change the offense, who are you going to incinerate around? You got to go around Alvin Kamara. Also, knowing Sean Payton, knowing Jameis' history of his interceptions and turns the ball over, I think he's going to be calling run plays like crazy, especially when the games are tight and close, because he does not want Jameis throwing it away. So I just think Kamara definitely gets a lot of volume like he always does. He always is good based on efficiency, not even volume. He's always split. He split with Mark Ingram back in the day and it was wonderful. He split with Latavius Murray and he still does his thing. So now I think he gets a boost in the volume, keeps the efficiency. Alvin Kamara definitely wanted to give some love to him there. All right, who's your dark horse?
I love it. My dark horse, man. This is a little bit of a cheat. You had your cheat with yours. I got mine a little bit here on the dark horse side. I like Rams wide receivers. Whether it's Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods. Man, I think that they're just – you got Matt Stafford. You got Frat Staff over there in L.A. doing his thing. Got rid of Jared Goff. He wasn't doing the job. Bring in Frat Staff. Man, that guy loves to throw the ball, and he does it well. And I think that both of these wide receivers see a huge benefit, and I think that they could – either one of them could easily finish top 10, maybe break top 5, get up there number 1 spot if they have a crazy year.
Number 1, it's out there. That's a bold prediction, but I mean that's what we're doing, right?
We're doing dark horses. I'm not saying that I think that there's a really strong chance these guys are going to finish number 1. But if you're going to make me pick a dark horse, I love a great quarterback with some wide receivers that have shown potential.
Yeah, it's in the range of outcomes. Does the Cam Akers injury help or hurt the Rams wide receivers? What do you think?
It's tough to say, right? Because you got both sides of the argument. You got what helps them because they get more targets, but it hurts them because they know they're going to pass all the time. I think that Darrell Henderson gets his, he gets in there, gets some yards down to alleviate some of that pressure off of the wide receivers. I think it ends up helping them because obviously, he's not as good as what Cam Akers was going to be, but
agreed.
he's still going to be able to get those rushing yards when they need them to give the wide receivers a little bit of a break.
I love it. If you had to pick one, which one do you pick?
One over the other. I'm going to go Robert Woods over Cooper Kupp.
Bobby Woods. I love it. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So my dark horse running back is not as deep as your wide receiver, respectively, like draft wise.
Sure.
He's on my team, so I just wanted to make myself feel better about this.
Not only is he on your team, but he's
also on my
team.
favorite team. Yeah, Packers. I'm a homer, so this is kind of a homer pick here of picking one of my guys from my team, but it's Aaron Jones. If you haven't caught all the context clues yet, here's the thing: he's not looked at as the top tier. Like some drafts, he doesn't go in the first round. I took him in the first round of the 109. There's some guys like Joe Mixon, some guys like Najee that were a deeper, like maybe a dark horse pick, but I still don't even think they have an amazing year. They get actually RB1, like actual RB1. No, but Najee, Joe Mixon, top 5, maybe could happen. Jones could be RB1. 2 years ago, he was RB2, and he did that on a lot of touchdowns. So it's going to take a lot of touchdowns. I mean, that's what you got to do to get RB1. So
man, I tell you
the
what,
opposite. Go ahead.
That's that pairs well with my Davante Adams take because I think that with the regression to the mean, the touchdowns have to come from somewhere. Green Bay is still a fantastic team, and they're going to get their touchdowns. They're going to get their wins. They got to find it somewhere, and I think that I really like this pick for Aaron Jones to finish high.
Yeah, and when you said the Davante Adams thing earlier, I was just about to mention that. I was like, you're making my argument for me. The touchdown regression has got to come down from Davante and Aaron. The other big point I'll make, I have 2 points, is there's no more Jamal Williams. Yeah. For years, Jamal Williams was eating into the receptions that like he was the passing third down back. I think A.J. Dillon will get some of that, but Aaron Jones still overall volume is going to go up with no Jamal Williams, touchdown regression for Davante Adams. And then lastly, the Packers are going for it all. I wish I could put them in my Super Bowl predictions because they are going for it, and they are up there in the top.
I'm shocked you're not going to. I'm shocked.
Yeah, it felt wrong. But they are going last dance style. You saw the thing on Twitter with Rodgers and Adams.
Yep, no doubt.
I believe they're both gone next year. I truly do.
Yeah, so it's going to be hard to keep them.
They're going for it all. And which means I think they're going to be trying to put up some points. Rodgers especially, he's going to be trying to put up some points. I think Jones has a chance to do it. So, all right. So that does it for all of our like individual player type talks, the booms, the busts, the flexes, and the season long picks. Let's wrap this up here with Thursday night preview, and maybe we can make a bold Super Bowl prediction.
Man, I'll tell you what. Go ahead. You seem excited. Yeah.
Thursday night. I already told Megan, my wife. I told her I'm ordering food. I'm ordering out. We're not cooking. Like I'm getting ready. And I know you like to do the same typically on those big football nights.
Oh yeah.
What are you going with food wise?
Food wise
Thursday. Yeah. What do you get?
Dude, I tell you what. When it comes to sports, right, you have 2 options, and 2 options alone, I think, at least, if you're going to sit down and watch a game, there's only 2 ways you can go. You can get a pizza or you can get wings. If you get anything else, I'm going to question what it is that you consider to be valuable in your life. Unfortunately, where I'm at, I'm out here in California, I don't have great options for either, okay?
Oh, man,
I'm going to keep it real with you. But yeah, I have found a place that has fantastic wings. So we're going to get about 15 wings, traditional, going to get a little barbecue, going to get a little buffalo, and we're going to dig in. We're going to watch some football.
I love it. Yeah, no, that was literally, I told Megan, I was like, I'm either thinking pizza or wings. Like that was my options.
I don't know what else you get.
I have a B-dubs here in South Carolina, but I don't know if I want to risk it because, sometimes it can be hit or miss. That's what I mean.
Better than B-dubs.
There's a nice place down the street. I think I might try that out. We'll give it a shot. But all right, let's get into it. Thursday night preview. Right. We have Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Man, what are some things you're looking for in this game?
Man, I got 2 real things. 2 real things that I'm looking for coming into this game. And I'll tell you, my first one starts with Dallas. You have a team that last year had Dak go down and had Zeke have maybe one of the biggest fantasy conundrums that I've
Yeah.
seen. He just, he was drafted very high, expected great things, and just did not show up. So I am looking to see how they bounce back from that. You get Dak Prescott back under center where he's supposed to be, running that offense, and this amazing group of young wide receivers. They're ready to just take it on, and then I think that will open up the door for Zeke to return to his fantasy self. Like we're talking regression to the mean. It's well within reason that Zeke, has himself a fantastic year this year. That being said, I passed on him. I don't think that he will, but it's well within reason.
Definitely.
And I look to see how they react after coming off of injury.
Yeah. Do you think, Tampa Bay's got a solid defense.
Yep.
Scary. Some of those guys, like you want to see the Cowboys put up some points. I want to see a
high scoring game. I want to see some points on Thursday.
And I'm afraid we might not. I'm scared.
Don't tell me that.
I know. That. On the Cowboy side, I'm going to stick with what you're saying. I just want to echo that. Like, talking about Zeke, talking about just like overall the team. The main thing I'm looking for the Cowboys is how Dak splits up the passing game. I'm really looking for this on both sides of the ball from both quarterbacks, but I want to see how Dak, is he still going to Amari? Is he working it with CeeDee Lamb? Even a Michael Gallup. I'm not high on Michael Gallup. I know some guys drafted him late in our league, but I'm really curious just how he spreads the ball around, and maybe even the tight end position with Dalton Schultz. I don't know. I just want to see how he throws it. How much is he throwing it coming off injury?
Yeah.
I'm really looking for the passing game.
It's a good thing to look for. I'm really looking forward to seeing how CeeDee Lamb does. He is one athletic guy, and if he's got a quarterback like Dak Prescott in full health, slinging it to him, it could be a lot of fun to watch.
What about the other side of the ball?
I'd say it's a similar sort of outlook, right? You got it, but from the other side, right? You have the Cowboys coming from a horrible year, just kind of bottom of the barrel for them, and then you have Tampa Bay coming off a Super Bowl win. How is Tampa Bay going to come back and respond? It's Tom Brady's team. That man is 150 years old, and he will play until both of us are dead. And I think that I think that he has, he's got enough experience in the league to get his team. And I'm not talking about his head coach. I'm saying Tom Brady is getting his team where they need to be for week one, setting the tone. They're not going to be caught on their heels. Ready to put up a lot of points. Just watching one of the most stacked offenses that I can remember.
Yeah.
Man,
they didn't lose anybody. Yeah. All 22 starters returned. Plus, they added some people. So even though all 22 starters are returning, they might not even be starting. That's how this team, man.
I think when we close this out, you're going to hear how high I am on Tampa Bay. So let's hear your what do you got for us for Thursday? Anything more?
Yeah, I'll just say similarly to the Dak side, I want to see how Tom Brady spreads the ball around. He's always in his whole career always spread the ball well. That's what he does. He hits the open guys like a good quarterback should. So he's going to hit. Like you said earlier, the weapons he has on this team: Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans. I have Tom Brady in our main league, in our home league, and Mike Evans. So I'm rooting for that. Yeah, I know. I got the stack. Yeah. So of course I want him to be targeting there, but I would not be surprised at all if Chris Godwin catches 1 or 2 TDs. If Antonio Brown catches the TD and Mike Evans doesn't get any. So it's scary, but I'm rooting for it. And we'll see. Prediction, I got Tampa Bay beating the Cowboys. I'll say just numbers in my head. I'll say 35-24.
Man, where did the no scoring thing come? Where did that go?
Well,
where'd it go? Where'd the no touchdowns 40. Go?
Yeah,
we're still getting 50 points. I don't know what the over under is, but I feel like the over hits if they put up those. I would like to know what that over under is. Vegas is setting right now. But man, where's Peyton Watson when you need him?
Let's go. Who do you got winning?
I'm gonna go Tampa Bay as well. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay over the Cowboys. Let's go 27-10. 27-10.
Okay. All right. Man. All right. So let's close it out. Last thing, Super Bowl predictions, and I want to share a little treat about next week. But go ahead. Super Bowl prediction. Okay. You want to start?
Let me start off. So like I said, love Tampa Bay. Love it. They got everybody back. And like you said, they added more. And Tom Brady Not only does that man know how to win, but he knows how to get lucky. Whether it's a fumble call, whether it's
Three
the tough rule,
interceptions.
whether it's D Ford not knowing how to play defense miraculously, like all of these things, they just add up to Tom Brady getting to the Super Bowl. So I like them to get there. I don't know if you can tell based on my fantasy team or not, but my oh my, do I like the Kansas City Chiefs, and I like them to make it to the Super Bowl, and I like them to win the Super Bowl against the Buccaneers and get their revenge this year.
So you're running it back.
Travis Kelce. Yeah, I got Travis Kelce and Mahomes on my team. I know a lot of people may not enjoy that with the fifth overall pick taking Travis Kelce, but man, I just think there's no one like him. He is going to set the tone this year in fantasy and just football in general. I think that they are the team to beat this year. They're coming back with a vengeance.
I just want to throw this out there because you just said it. I read an article just the other day talking about fantasy, and somebody was saying if you're in a 10-team league, I'm completely fine with Travis Kelce at the number 5 spot. He said I would take him over Zeke, and I was like, oh.
Man, I guess you found my my ghostwriting I do on the side.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. Tough.
I thought the name Sip Charks was weird, really close.
I tried to mix it up, but I'm just not that creative. But man, I love him. I love to see him do well. Let's hear your Super Bowl prediction.
All right, so I got it's hard not to say what you said, to run it back. Tampa Bay and the Chiefs. I made a prediction in our fantasy chat earlier this summer. I'm changing it a little bit. I think I had Rams and Bills, switching it up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'm keeping the Rams there.
Whoa.
Keeping the Rams there, yeah.
Not who I expect you to keep.
And I don't know if you're going to be able to expect this one either. And I got the Baltimore Ravens getting there.
Okay.
I know. I have to go
Walk
for
me
it.
through this. Walk me through this.
The Rams, I think, had a big Jared Goff problem, and I think they solved that in Matthew Stafford. They still have an incredible defense. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Sean McVay is a coach, play caller. I heard this thing, talking about Matt LaFleur, and he's amazing offense in Green Bay the past couple of years. Of course, you got Kyle Shanahan out west in the San Francisco 49ers. All these other young gurus, a lot like Sean McVay, and I think Sean McVay, if I'm him, I'd be like, that's it. I'm showing them I'm just as good. Now I got a quarterback with me. We're running it. I think they're going to run up the score. That defense and that offense combo, I think they have what it takes to get there. And then on the other side, the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
That's probably the side you're like,
questionable.
What?
This is where I get very questionable.
I know we're friends with a lot of Bengals and Browns fans. So Ravens not a happy pick. Gonna maybe make some people mad. But I think their defense, they had a couple injuries last year. Their offensive line, still very good. And you get a good offensive line, you get a great defense, and then you just put some weapons around it. You give anybody a shot. And I believe in them. I do. I think they could do it. But, yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of weapons, man, that J.K. Dobbins going down, that's going to hurt your pick a lot, right?
That's true. That is a big one. Lamar's the one running the ball. He's the true running back on that team. So I think he'll step it up a little bit in the passing game. They actually got a couple more wide receivers to help him out. Okay. Gave Mark Andrews that bag just yesterday, I think. I don't know when they signed that, the 4-year deal. Did you see that?
It's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
It's a big 4-year deal. So happy I got him in Dynasty because, just keep him for a while. But no, I think they can do it. Weirdly enough, I got Cleveland winning the division.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I got Cleveland winning the division, and I got them making a wild card run all the way to the Ravens making a wild card run all the way to the Super Bowl.
I respect it. You want to talk about bold picks,
Yeah, I had to go for it. All right, that's going to do it for today's episode. One thing I want to just, plug for next week, we got 2 Truths and a Lie coming up. We're going to look at – oh, dude, I'm pumped. I'm picking 3. You're picking 3. See if we can guess each other's. 3 players based on their week performance. Is that a truth or a lie for the whole season? 2 truths and a lie. We'll see what we can pick. Got that next week. Maybe talk about week 2 flex and also just I don't know who's playing next Thursday, but I'm already excited for it.
I'm excited for football, man. I don't care what game it is. You could show me right now the Texans and the Jets playing each other, and I'd be over them. Yeah, I'll be ready to go. I'll be fired.
Exactly. So let's do it. Let's see week 1. We'll see how it goes. Thursday night.
Awesome, man. I can't wait.
Tampa Bay Cowboys kick it off. All right, we'll be back tomorrow, next week, next Tuesday. Anything else?
Beautiful. That's it, man.
Signing off, Fantasy Fuel. I'm Matt Russell.
Chip Sparks.
We'll see you next week. Stop.